The Indian Air Force has been accused of deliberately firing a nuclear-capable Brahmos missile into Pakistan. The accusation has been made by a Pakistani think tank, rejecting the IAF report to the Delhi High Court of an accidental firing. March 9, 2022, at nearly 7 p.m., a Brahmos is fired from an IAF base in Sirsa. Flying at Mach 3, the Brahmos beats Pakistani air defense system before landing in an unpopulated region near Mia Chandu. The news sent shockwaves and spread panic across Pakistan. Had nuclear-armed India just launched an attack? How did India shatter Pakistani missile shield with such ease? What if the target had been Pakistani's military command instead of an abandoned field? Thankfully, India and Pakistan did not go to war. There was no Pakistani retaliatory strike, unlike Pakistan's response to Iranian missile strikes in its territory. The Indian Air Force too quickly admitted it was a case of accidental misfire. The lethal Brahmos, which flew into Pakistan, was not even armed with a warhead. However, now a Pakistani think tank has claimed that the Indian firing of nuclear-capable Brahmos was deliberate, intended to test Islamabad's response time and defense capabilities. If this was a test, then Pakistan failed miserably, unable to intercept the incoming Indian missile. CISS, a Pakistan-based think tank, claims that there are several fail-safe mechanisms in place for nuclear-capable missiles, including authorization codes, electronic locks, and physical disabling, thus minimizing risk of accidental firing. But CISS themselves claim, quote, minimize and not eliminate altogether. Accidents do happen. If this was a deliberate attack, then India probably would have used tens or probably hundreds of Brahmos, and they would probably have been armed as well. But what has been the findings of the Delhi High Court into the Brahmos firing? Just how was a nuclear-capable missile fired into hostile enemy territory? And could the incident have sparked a major war in South Asia? The Brahmos is considered among the world's leading supersonic cruise missiles, flying at Mach 3 or thrice the speed of sound. The newer, lighter version have a kill range of 450 to 500 kilometers. The Indian Brahmos can be fired from land, sea or air, making them highly efficient and tailored for any type of missions. Earlier this year, the Indian Air Force informed the Delhi High Court that the accidental firing of the Brahmos was due to, quote, combat connectors staying connected to the junction box at a time when they should have been disabled, which in turn allowed the mobile autonomous launcher to fire the missile. The Indian Air Force has found 3 officers guilty of breach of protocol, though the officers are challenging the Court of Inquiry findings in the High Court. The Brahmos has embarrassed Pakistan in defense circles. How could it simply fail to detect or intercept an Indian nuclear-capable missile? But the accidental firing did provide India with some valuable intel. Pakistan had deployed the HQ-9 missile shield or surface-to-air missile defense system from China, which was evaded and beaten by Indian Brahmos easily. This gives Indian forces renewed optimism of striking their targets in case of hostilities across the LAC with China. Brahmos is an India-Russia collaboration, being one of the rare cruise missiles globally capable of flying at supersonic speeds. Russia has been using the Brahmos or the P-800 Onyx with devastating effect in Ukraine, with hardly any being intercepted before the target. The accidental firing of the Brahmos also cost India 24 crore rupees or $240 million. It also led to the termination of 3 IAF officers for breach of protocol. However, the value of the Brahmos seems to be on the rise after the incident. The Indian Navy too is acquiring hundreds of Brahmos for its guided missile destroyers and stealth frigates, while India has begun deliveries of the Brahmos batteries to Philippines in a $375 million deal to guard against Chinese ships in the Indo-Pacific. Some reports claim nearly 12 nations have opened negotiations with India to acquire the Brahmos, with initial discussions also held with Vietnam and Indonesia in Southeast Asia, while India showcased the Brahmos at the World Defense Show in Saudi Arabia, aiming to make an impact in the defense market in the Gulf. Have your say. Do you believe the Brahmos firing by India into Pakistan was accidental or a deliberate test? Leave a comment below and remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons.